Okay, I sorted out the various packs. My attic floor is now half full with all the specific projects. And now onto the good stuff. I spent a lot of time gathering all the Arkham Horror hobby card games, cards, and the various cards that were available. And this is 500 cards that I can use to have fun with deck building. So there's Geared Up, Dual Wield, Mongoose Tattoo. And these are... I'm not sure if they are official or anything, but if I check with the size, it's correct size. As I've shown before, I have the backs, so I'll glue these together so you have a nice set of 9 cards. Well, apparently not 9 cards, of course, because we have Geared Up, Dual Wield, Mongoose Tattoo, and the pips here on the circle give the level. So this is you have to spend XP, I think, to use this card. You have assets, events, and skills. This is the blue asset things, combat trading. So it's nice and clear. The text effect, Hallowed Mirror, Katana of Larion. These stars, just like in Phantom the Guard game, say that it is a unique item, so I printed it only once. Except for a mistake, for example, Martyr's Vambrace. These are 2 identical copies. Well, end level game, your card, your grandfather's chest. We have green stuff, dress shoes, lone wolf, underworld support, dragon tattoo, Gias. Yeah, so even if you're not playing the game, you can enjoy the artwork. It's a nice design. So lucky dice, the red clock, Father Kotomine, and that saves you buying all these extra boxes with only the official campaigns. I can play the. I'm mostly interested in the hobby campaigns from Arkham Central. And I don't have any desire to have more boxes than absolutely necessary. So this will be 1 box, I think, 2 maybe, if it doesn't fit. Lucky Dice, Moxie, Shoe Knife, the Black Fan, Well Connected, Molotov Cocktail, the Gold Pocket Watch, the Red Clock. And we also had another red clock, but the difference is the level. So this is a weaker version of this one. That's a nice thing with the system. Houdini, 2 copies. Audacious. So I decided that things that were exceptional or permanent or limit 1 per deck, I printed them only once, and so this is a mistake. You can't have copies of an exceptional in your deck. Rod of Animalism, Smart Trader, Desperate Times, Misjudged Counseling, In It Together, I've been practicing. So this is the result of searching the internet, Reddit and other sources to figure out how to print them and how many of them to print. And I didn't print out the watermarked versions, so it's not a complete deck of all the cards, but it's all the cards that were publicly available. Some ally down the rabbit hole. Paradoxical covenants. I mean, FFG would have had their reasons to watermark certain cards and not watermark the others. So I think I'm legally safe here, but it's only for personal usage, so who's counting? Lucky Hellbands, improvisation. So all the colors are represented here. Charles Ross, scientific theory, some enemies, blue deck. Most of the cards come in pairs, so unless it has a special keyword, you can print out 2. Unless it has the keyword myriad, in that case you have 3 that you can put in your deck, so all these are doubles. I used PnP tool for building this large PDF. So I could control the size of each card, and took some experiments because it's a Spanish tool, so you can't rely really on it. But just print out a sample, and you can correct for the mistake in the tool design. So after several attempts, I finally got the dimensions right, and it also has some bugs. So if you don't check it, 61 copies of a certain card will be put in. So you have to check for the amount of copies for 700 cards or something. So it's like it goes on and on. Just to give you an idea of how I will spend a year making these cards, and I don't know where to stuff them. Create also a box. For that I also included in this PnP project box designs. So as you can see, well, if anybody is wanting to print this out, just let me know and I'll upload it. No problem. I consider these all public domain. I'm not the ideal consumer, as you already guessed. Time Bomb from Gambino, Lily of the Valley, several variants, and this also includes all the cards that people made. mixed in together and sorted by color and level. It looks crap on camera because it's shiny, but trust me, it looks fantastic on real paper, even FSC. Medical students. Camera is out of battery, so I'll have to cut this short, I think. Blur, Brandovstuga, Divination. I also have the book from H.P. Lovecraft, translated into Dutch. It's not particularly well written, but FFG has made a lot of lore out of it, so at least that is something. And these are Edge of the Earth cards, and they are multi-class, so that would be nice to have. Precious Moment, Divination. And the creativity is very commendable in all the different uses of the cards. And with a deck of 30 cards, out of these, you have a lot of control. So I think I see the charm of Arkham Horror. So this is, let's do this faster. A lot of cards. So that's why I had to make a lot of decks. It's my first and probably last LCG. It's commercially a success to have an LCG, so that's why there are so many LCGs. Magic the Gathering was the first one. Arkham Horror tries to replicate it. Yeah, it can be quite addictive, I think, if you are really going into it. But the benefit of Arkham Horror versus Magic the Gathering is that you don't play against another person that also has to be skilled and has to have good cards, but you play against the scenario. So I wouldn't even consider Arkham Horror if it didn't have so many stories. So with this you can spend years playing, especially with how many custom investigators I have. I even have Buffy the Vampire Slayer as an investigator. Lots of fun things, ideas, creativeness, all in card form. And this is something that you will never see in video games. So it's it's props for. This is a hobby version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example. I also have somewhere the Neo from the Matrix. Really beautiful card. And this is a game that is themed around adults with problems. We all have problems as an adult, so I don't think it will make your children enthusiastic. Why do I have 3 altruism? Ah, yeah, different level. It's not a good idea to denote levels by pips around something. This is the cost to play a card. So once you have a deck, the level shouldn't be prevalent, but the cost should be prevalent. So yeah, it's a trade-off. And more, like thousands of cards. I think, well, it's 120 times 9, so that's more than 1,000 cards for 24 euros, because you have to pay for the prints 10 cents, double-sided. So for 24 euros you have all the cards from, well, half the cards of all the boxes of Arkham Horror. That's a good deal. Oh, and you have to spend an entire winter to build them, actually. Well, this is also a hobby card. I think you can see what it was about. So I make no distinction between hobby cards and official cards. And if you decide that you're really against this, you can unsubscribe and downvote. I understand, but I don't see it as illegal, because all these cards were provided without watermark, just for people to download. I also learned GIMP, because this card was very yellow, so I had to change the color balance to make it a little bit more readable. Yeah. So it also had some post-processing after the gathering. Well, I learned GIMP. Signal Cruises. If you want that card, you have to hunt for a certain pack, and it's out of print and hard to get, and you don't want that. You just want something that you can always print again. So that's the benefit of handing out PnP files. The Astounding Revelation is myriad, so I printed out 3. Sled Dog is 4 cards, so you have 4 Sled Dogs. These are Investigator cards that I printed out, but I didn't know shit about how to control the sizes, so they were too wide and too high, so I had to print them out again, because now I know. So I have these double. They are all. This set is all hobby work that doesn't have to do with FFG itself. a lot of people made their own expansions. There's some kind of design tool to make such cards out of nothing. And these are all allies that you can include in your deck. And some cards are named allies and they refer to allies. So it's nice to have them in your box. Got a lot of allies. More allies. Frank Mildred only, William Nielsen only. So these are Investigator cards for investigators that I already have built. Yeah. Don't think it's of much interest. I have 3 centers now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. These are also cards in. I think I'm going to play with the single investigator and try to defeat the campaigns in order or in random order. And when I want to use a second investigator, while the first one isn't insane or dead yet, I can't use their cards because they're in their deck. So it's good to have some spare copies. Now these are watermarked, as you can see. So I cannot use them, and I won't. But these aren't watermarked. They're just free to use. I made a mistake because I already printed out the Desert Ropes and the Holy Bible in a separate card page, as also the Kushari and the Satchel and the Grimoire. Yeah. These are all reprints, this time with correct sizes. 2 copies of Peepscat. Yeah. Okay, so that part is all the cards from Arkham Horror that I have to build, and I'm almost there. I think 2 more videos, but the camera is out of juice, as they say. So I have to wait. Okay, bye.